Well, here it is, guys. But the first thing I got to do is take off that crazy water bottle cage so I can use my maintenance stand. So the bike's in my maintenance stand. This is a very Italian bike, other than the Shimano components, which were added. The Shimano 600 set, which was probably added much later. It's a 7-speed. This bike was way before I think there was 7-speed. And check out those wheels. That's a pretty sweet part there. It's made in Italy hubs. I don't know what brand that is. What's that say? DMAS. DMAS. We got these sweet Modulo speedy brakes. So a lot of cool parts on this bike. One of the issues is that if I do want to switch out wheel sets, this is going to have the 26.5, but you know, this is, instead of a 130 axle width here, this is going to be 126.5. So I'm going to not be able just to switch that out without spreading a little bit, which I think is probably flexible enough if I wanted to throw on a 130. The rims have, I don't know, these are 36 spoke wheels. I've never messed with tubulars. The brake track looks pretty worn, but it doesn't feel worn, so I don't know what I think about that. This is crazy. I was sure this was some kind of funky old Shimano. Like, I've never seen SPD pedals, SPD SL pedals that look like this. And so I assume this was some sort of weird old school like look pedal that Shimano just branded. That's what Choke said. He's like, I think that's a look pedal. It says look patent product. So yeah, it is. It must be. I just clicked my SPD SL shoes in them and they clicked, but I bet they won't. I bet they wouldn't be good for riding. So first thing I want to do is try to see if I can clean some of that chrome up right there, see if I can make that look a little bit more polished. And I just read that aluminum would take off some of the rust, so I'm going to try that first. That is after about 30 seconds of rubbing that with a piece of aluminum foil. It just like rubs. It sounds absolutely horrible. It sounds like death, but, or like nails on a chalkboard. But it takes the like oxidation and rust right off. Like, it just removes it. So, and it looks really nice. Like, it looks like chrome when you get done instead of like dull. It looks awesome. Like, that's all that's going to take. I bought some copper. I thought I'll try that too. So this is my first time with tubular tires, and so I've just let the air out. This tire is pretty old, pretty dry rotted, and it looks like you just kind of peel it off. You know, you just pull the tire, it just peels off. See how easy it is to get off. And then I got to clean the old glue out from inside there. So got a brand new tubular here I'm about to put on, and it kind of looks like, you know, when they come off they were like stretched, you know, where they had no, but this is pretty tight, so this is going to need some stretching. I might need to like throw it in the dryer or something, heat it up a little bit, because it seems like, you know, it's like, how's that going to ever fit on that rim? I imagine it might be easier to air it up first, let it kind of stretch that out a little bit. So I think heating it up was the answer here. It looks like it's going to stretch a whole lot easier once it's been kind of warmed up in the dryer for 5 minutes. And it looks like it's going to stretch on much, much more pliable. There we go. So I'm not gluing this on right now. Eventually glue it on. I want to just, apparently I read, it said before you even glue it on, you should get the tire fitted and get it, you know, on the rim good. Get it shaped to the rim good. Air it, leave it aired up for a while. This is the weirdest gearing I've ever seen on a bike. 45 for a small ring and 50 for the big ring. Like, That's ridiculous. I mean, it's like it makes no sense. I guess really it kind of does make sense maybe for a time trial bike because in a way, you probably weren't really going to use the smaller ring anyway, especially if you're just doing flat time trials. So maybe it's just there to catch the chain if it falls off. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I've never seen anything quite like that. All right, I got 2 tires on. I've got the bike cleaned up. Now I'm just going to wipe it off, wash it off a little bit, and see how it rides. So I rode it around the parking lot, and surprisingly, it wasn't that bad. The position needs some work. The seat setting all the way forwards feels weird, except for how low the handlebars are. The truly scary thing were the brakes. Like, I was afraid to go down this little incline to get off of this parking lot because the brakes basically didn't seem to do anything. Yeah, they're probably really old, but I found out that Motoload brakes of that era, they had a Sinstered pad, which is a pad that has metal flakes or some kind of metal stopping agent inside the compound that makes up the pad. The pads are rock hard. I don't know if they were originally supposed to be, but I'm sure that they weren't supposed to be as hard or as bad as they were. So the brakes were horrible, but surprisingly, the bike rode great. I wasn't going to like actually ride hard or anything to see, but I think you could cruise around on this without gluing the tires on. And as long as you didn't turn too fast, you'd probably be fine, but not going to try it. Did ride no-handed for a while. Overall, so far so good.